Things like rigging would be the order of the day. I'm not surprised it happened. I said it was going to happen. Things like using authority to be able to share money. I'm not surprised it happened. I knew it was going to happen. But it will be on record that I said it because of the sake of posterity. So, for those that are going to claim victory, be celebrating in your rigging and be happy. It is now obvious and clear that anytime people say that they have structure, it is the structure of criminality they have. It is the structure of brazen criminality, how they can use the element of states to criminalize electoral process. That's the structure they have. How they can use the element of violence, paying thugs to disrupt, because people cannot win in a clean elections. And you have a lot of those people. And they are the one that pervades the air. And we're not going to stop telling them the truth. Because the truth is always bitter. When you tell them the truth, they start to run around. But for those that claim they have won, they have not won the hopes and aspirations of the people. In fact, they have won the disgust of the people. They can't win openly in a clean election. So they have to rig and manipulate. That's all they have done for a living. And the delusion is they think the world doesn't see them. The world sees them. The world knows them. We had people using all sorts of paraphernalia of power to be able to rig themselves in. They should enjoy the stolen victory. It's not surprising. As means when criminals take what does not belong to them, they steal it. They are bragging about it. They are happy about it. It doesn't stop the fact that they are thieves. So we know. We know what has gone on. We saw it. It's not hidden. We saw it. We saw the distortion. I got a call yesterday from the I think it was one of the political party, YPP or something, party chairman. And they were complaining about the shenanigans that happened in the Abuja elections. We know all that has transpired. We see the manipulation of the results. We see how people even have to use TPEX. We know. It will be on record, we say it. And you see what this life is. Don't worry. In no time from now, you will see that the same people that they think they are all in all, they will also be the one to complain at some point in the future when the same things they are doing today is done against them. So we are not oblivious. All we are just saying is people should be made to win in a clean elections. Elections where half of the forms are shaded. They rewrite numbers. They manipulate. They vote by. They do all sorts. You wonder, what is the hope for the common man? Somebody say I should congratulate winners. How will I congratulate people that manipulated an election to win? And why do you want my congratulations so much? I'm a voice of reason. I can't congratulate criminality. You don't expect me to come and congratulate criminality. And why do you want my congratulations so much? Because you know I have something you people that rig elections don't have. I have integrity, you don't. I say it the way it is, you people do not. So why do you want my congratulations? No, I don't congratulation in an election where rigging occurred. There's no point congratulating a thief. It's just like somebody that comes to steal in your homes and they say, eh, congratulate him for stealing your property. No. I don't congratulate where rigging occurred. Now, like we said before now, the elections were going to be a reflection of a shambolic process, and it has become. It has become. My message this morning is, it won't last forever. So if you think it will last forever, that's the height of delusion. It's not going to last forever. It's delusional to think it lasts forever. When PDP was doing their own rigging at that point in time, did they think it was going to last forever? No. The question is, APC will do their own. Another party too will come, will do their own. In fact, all of the political parties all do their own because they are not so sure of themselves. And when they do it, they think it will last forever. No, it's not going to last forever. So for all the political parties that rigged yesterday in the elections, you can see that your structure is part of criminality. And for all the electorates that were asking for money openly, shame on you. I saw the video of one woman that said she's waiting for any party to come and bribe her the most. Shame on you, madam. Because that will not also help you. So truth is, you have to be delusional to support evil. I am not in the vanguard of supporting evil. I'm not in the vanguard of supporting atrocities. I will say it the way they are. Was a reflection of the weakness of our process. But I'm not surprised. And as we spoke, all the coalition shenanigans that happen would constantly happen. But the people also did not play their role because they didn't come out en masse to vote. The outcomes were very low. People did not come out. And I do not know who told some people to say no movement. So if you call that elections, you will call anything elections. Those were shambolic representation of how in pain and penury our country has become. And we'll keep saying it. And for those that are so delusional, that think Rufai says all of this because he wants. Anyway, you know, when people have not aspired to something bigger, and they are so delusional that they think being in government is what is the most befitting in their lives. They will also project their hopes and aspirations because the highest thing they think they can do is to serve in government. So they will naturally project their hopes and aspirations on other people, thinking that other people too must join governments to be able to make a change. So for those that think I'm doing it because I want to serve in government, keep deceiving yourself. So maybe when you see that it's not about serving in government, you will see that for me it was just the sake of posterity I was seeing all of these things from. And I'm not going to lie to you. Don't keep delusion on. Don't support delusion. Because everything about your life is what you can gain. No. There must be things you will do for transparency. And you see, for those that talk about rigging, you can see that they did not remember that they were fasting when they were rigging elections. Because those that were cutting away ballot boxes, if you ask What religion are you? They will say Christian, they will say Muslim, they will say all sorts of religion. At the same time, both Christians and Muslims are fighting. Those that are cutting away Bible, they will never remember. So you can see that they don't even take this call for religion seriously. It doesn't change their lifestyle. It doesn't herald their thinking. They're so concerned about their own shenanigans, and it's always about what they want to get. That's just it. So they will see, we'll see. They will bring out their rigged results. And when I say rigged, I'm talking about all political parties. No party is a saint in all of this, please. It's just that some did it more than some. No party is a saint. Please don't get me wrong. All of them did it. Some did it more than some. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. But in building a nation, this will not last. This must not continue. And a nation that will rise up will not be a nation that will suppress the voices of others. And that's why we keep preaching this leadership series. You can call us up on the phone lines 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. Ring us up on the phone lines, and we'll talk about leadership today. It is righteousness and leadership that builds a nation. The lack of it thereof is a pain to every nation. It is time patriots stand up and be counted. It is time people do not support evil and shun evil. 0818-099-1991. Hello, how are you? 0818-099-1991. Please, a lot of you clog my messages with my box with thousands of. I appreciate your messages. I try to go through a lot of them and to bring remedy to a lot of them. But remember, I can't do it all, though. I'm not delusional to lie to you. Hello? Hello, speak up. Please do well to speak up. So there are lots and lots of messages. Part of the messages I got last week, somebody complained about, I think, is it the section of trade fair market he complained about? Anyway, I put that on my Twitter. And I am also working, I'm working with a couple of friends to set up a not-for-profit where all of your concerns, you can have a website where you can put them on. And we can do follow-up on this thing. Hello, how are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from? John from Jos. Go ahead, my brother.
All right. I want to appreciate you for what you're doing. I want to appreciate everyone for tuning in. Happy New Year to everyone.
Bless you.
I am glad the fact that you found out the truth. Whether they like it or not, we must hear the truth. The truth is but it is better for this to come together and to come together and cause us to pass through pain in the future. You see, Nigeria has been moving in a direction that when the youth would not rise what belongs to them, we will not have a Nigeria tomorrow to celebrate. Now, the political parties we are having, now I just want to be very blunt, and I just want not to of any party to say, in as much as I have my own party of which I will vote or sign comments. I'm not a fan of the party just to say, one party I should say, not just because get some way to pass the other one.
Oh, yes.
So, what I'm trying to say is, that's why I anyone that is going to crucify me, please crucify me with mercy. But I will tell you the truth. I am from Ghana today. In as much as we see all parties here that their foundation is not correct. Their way of how will I put it? I'm looking for the word. Their heart, oh God, this word I'm looking for. What of how they operate is not in the right way of I'm sorry, find that word. Describe what I'm on the say. Their system. No. What I'm trying to say is that see, I am angry that my state government, governor, I feel that this is due to some promises or some threats. Has compelled a lot of governors to come into the city. Now, for my state, as I'm speaking now, I felt free. Why I say I felt free is that we voted the governor. This one is a good governor. I love him in person. And lots of people love him so much. Alright? But we felt free. The reason is that we have seen what he's doing. We voted him into power because of the umbrella of PDP. You get? Now, to complete his tenure, okay? To complete his tenure with PDP, and then when he's supposed to run for the second term, you will now quietly become. But we elected him as a candidate of PDP because here on the platform, I believe that to some extent, PDP have shown that we have the people's interest at heart. Last week, I don't know about other states. That you can continue with exposing the truth to us. So, my take is this, as I out of this. Why I say that I felt free is that we trusted we see how this has ruled the state. Wasn't favorable to the people. We say, okay, let's go back to the digital plan, which is one of the reasons why people voted PCC is just to get back at Babajam. Because at some point, Babajam looked at things like thinking politics in the city to be like a family affair. That was why people never liked PCC at first. I don't know if you know about that.
Okay, I'm just allowing you to make your point. So, what's your point as we wrap up?
My point is this. My point is this. PDP has been the one doing the major development on the plateau. PDP has been the one helping the mass. Here to campaign for any party for people.
Okay. So, have you finished your point?
Yes, I'm rounding now.
Okay.
What I'm not trying to say in essence is this. We just like to follow you said earlier on. We've seen the recent election that was held. And what the video, I've seen how the APC government the same security that have gone to protect the people. They are using them as tools. So for me to round up what I'm saying, APC as a party is a criminal party, and I'll tell you the truth.
Okay, thank you. Most of the political parties are criminal in nature. Like I said before, it's who does it more. The only reason why the APC one is pronounced today is because they're in power. Once the APC leaves power, they too will cry foul, like other political parties are crying foul today. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. But what we shall have is a group of politicians that have the interests of people. He was talking about the governor doing well, but killing continued in Plateau. It's all the same. And that's why I'm more concerned about the people. But you see, anytime we speak up for the people, party will always say what we are saying is against them. And I'm not surprised. Just like the way the PDP said all what we're saying was in favor of the APC then. Any journalist, I mean, I was on radio. I've been on radio for over 20 years. I was on radio in 2015 when Lai Mohammed used to come. We all were accused of being APC members. But today we are accused of being in the opposition. So it's not surprising. But I am more concerned about the leader that will look at the interests of the people and take it paramount in their hearts. And that should be the priority. And that's why it's not about political parties. Political parties come and go. They're special purpose vehicles in the end. There's no ideology, there's no ethos. It's just to win elections. Any platform to win elections for them. How can we get leadership that'll care more about the people, that'll fix the problems and the challenges of the people, that'll end the killings? Imagine in Ondo State the other day, a king was killed. They shot him many times. After shooting him, they slammed him in the head. And that's the kind of society we live in. So, how can we have integrity? Hello. Morning, what's the name? Where are you calling from? From Berlin in Germany. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Program on Sunday and really interesting. Yeah, I just want to get into that. If Nigerian democracy will not survive APC, because we have a party that is capitalizing on the fact that Nigeria is culturally conditioned to go back to a system of monarchy. Because you see, I don't think we now have like a separation of power between any of the Nigeria is working like, those people will say that if a system is not influenced, is not linked, everything would return to where it was before. So we have people currently in government who think they can do everything, they can do anything, and they are now looking. It looks like when you elect politicians, the politicians go on to become kings and gods. They manipulate, do everything, and there is no one to question. And who are supposed to rise up to question the people have been conditioned to believe that nobody can anything of them. So it's really complicated.
It's so sad. And at the heart of it is it's the level of poverty. You can see some people from a certain political party working for another political party yesterday just because of money. And that's why I say all of them are the same. As all of them are the same. It's just the ones that do it more. And it's more pronounced because of the one. Yeah.
Well, not minding the whatnot. Would be worried about where Nigeria is going because
It's sad. It's sad. It's heading for destruction. It's heading for a foul place if the right things are not done at this point in time. It's heading for a foul place, and that's why it's on record. We keep speaking about it.
So much is that people don't realize that there is no way we can go. Like, when people are in Nigeria, they think if I go abroad, I am safe. Yeah, but like a lot of outside, you are abroad, you understand that if why people don't want to have you abroad, you need to go back and develop your place. You need to make your place sustainable. When you look back home, you see everything, all things.
Yeah, they're criminal. A lot of them. What do you expect? It is well.
Education has a lot to do. of course, if you look very well, you see that around the place where it's currently controlled, you know, once it takes over a place, priorities away from education. They don't care about what it because we can create a society that takes on of their leaders. It's one with the society of
Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you because we need to get other calls in. But what you said is very apt. Imagine they don't even care for over 200 billion. They only supply 36 million for health. And it's so sad. And in fact, sometimes I even pity the health minister party because he left Gavi where he was controlling budgets of billions of dollars to come and walk this shenanigan. It's sad. And that's the kind of country we live in. So we keep saying all of these things. And, we're never going to stop saying it. It will be on record that we said these things. Prosperity will general us. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Lagos.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, my take on this is politicians in Nigeria. They are all the same.
Oh, yes. Yes. In fact, let me put two more, 100%, all of them.
Yeah. So I will say that many people said that not the politics to the economy.
Mm-hmm.
That actually want to stop something, they want to make a change. They won't allow them in. And if they try to put their level, they kill them.
Mm.
I know what that about it. Join their calls and all that. They are getting him. They won't allow you in.
Mm.
For the game. And they don't want an holy man or an holy woman among them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I know somebody that once told me, this person, let me tell you a very funny story. This person was served as a top ambassador from Nigeria and he wanted to run for a political position. And I know somebody that once told him that, said, guy, you're too honest, that's the problem. You're too good as a person. So, and they won't let you get there. And that's why we keep speaking. You see, what I'm trying to do is if we can get to educate people with a lot of platforms. Okay, like this program you're seeing is going on socials. It's also going on terrestrial radio. If we can educate people and open their mind. And my goal this year is to help align many more radio stations. Because if we can go up and get more of impact. Normally, these programs used to go on a radio station in Abuja at some point, but we had to rest it, because of money challenges. It's not easy running two radio stations in Lagos and Abuja. But if I can partner with more radio stations to get this message out to the grassroots, at least it will be on record that I will have helped to change the mindset of a lot of people. That's caustic. This is not easy. Because of the state of the bastardization of the economy, to get adverts is even a problem for the radio station. We keep subsidizing it every day. Me that I do this show every Sunday morning, because I'm a co-founder, I don't pay myself anything. We don't get paid. But just because of the interest of the people and Nigerians like you. So I'm happy to work for free. Even as a co-founder of VOP, I'm happy to work for free because of the interest of a lot of Nigerians that are suffering. Because if we don't open their eyes, society will not become better. So I feel your point, my brother. We'll do our own part. It will be on record, we said our part. I'm not delusional. I'm not delusional to think I can change Nigeria. I must be a fool if I think I can change it. But I will play my parts. It is well. Bless you so much.
You can just get a good leader that can just fix the problem.
Oh, definitely it will happen if you can get a good leader. And you see why I don't give up on Nigeria? Because I know the moment we just get, even if it's by mistake, we get a good leader right, things will change. Because and you know why? The people are very impressionable. If they see a man that is ready to do good, they fall in line. I'll give you an instance. I remember when Buhari just came in 2015. A lot of people actually thought he wanted to do good. And people have started falling in line. Once they saw that, this one was not ready, looting was happening on that, they just moved on. So if we can get somebody that truly gets it, we'll get it well. So we are just preparing this country for the future of that kind of personality. Hello, how are you? Morning, bless you. What's the name? Where are you calling from? Manjem, how are you? How's everything? How is fasting in that area? No, we know it's a joke. Now we know they rig. They even use the element of states to rig. They brought their thugs out. Mm. All of them are the same.
Somebody came to me yesterday. Let me mention the party.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? All of them are shambolic. We just have to keep training. But you still have voted for your choice yesterday either ways. You know, not allow somebody discourage you. You still have voted your choice. Yeah.
What is happening yesterday? Look at choice. That those who are that they are capitalized on that. Okay, let's give them something they go do whatever happens. That is what they go. I want to copy. I was there.
Brother, how are IDP people? Let's talk about the ones that concern us. The ones government is feeling that we're working on. The one we send things to. Hope they are good.
Yes. Program.
Okay.
When you say your time, you have to
Who work for free? This Sunday morning show is free. It's my get paid for the show. People. Our resource, we use it to amplify the cause of people. We put a lot for humanity on the show. In fact, now we're working on something where, for all those that send me messages, and I'll be calling the email addresses, the website very soon, where you can go and put your complaints there, and we'll push it to the authorities and say the authorities can follow up on it. So for those that have complaints, want to have a dedicated website. Because this one that people just send something to. What's it called? You send them to your WhatsApp and everything. There's so much more you can do. But at least if you have a dedicated website and we have a backend where we can see all the complaints and we can push them to the authorities, then a lot more could be done. So we are working on that. I have to start a new NGO for that, not for profit for that. To be able to institutionalize it properly. Not only me, but some other friends that I know that have worked in NGOs in global capacity and some other technical people, so that we can just it's just for the help of humanity. And you see, that's the kind of society we live in because, we have to do much more for people. But it is well. It is well. It is well. It is well. In Zamfara yesterday, people were also killed. In fact, I saw their body being wrapped in cloths. People that were killed in Zamfara yesterday. And it just shows the state of play of our society. And while we keep celebrating the bunch of politicians that failed us, people are getting killed by the day. Hello, how are you? Morning, what's anywhere you calling? From where? Ejugu, go ahead, my brother.
I'm happy for you. I've never seen a kind of person like you. The very first day I listened to you, I said, can we have this kind of person in this country?
God be praised. It's not about me, it's about God, though.
I know it's God.
Yeah.
By your power, not by your grace.
Yeah.
When you are saying about the radio, most people now, they don't listen to radio and they can't get you. I don't know how you...
No, they do. They do, my brother. They do. People listen to radio. No, see, on VOP alone. No, hang on a minute. No. Hang on a minute. On VOP alone, averaging a week, I have close to 2 million listeners on VOP alone. That's radio. Then secondly, Yes, we have close to 2 million listeners. We're one of the most listened to radio stations in Lagos. I think we are part of the first 20 or first 30 now, right? So we have close to 2 million listeners, over a million listeners. Then secondly, no, that's delusional. No, I can't do that. No. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, listen to me. Listen to me. No, that's delusional. I can't get to 200 million people. I have no. Would you listen to me? Just hang on, hang on. I get you. I'm just trying to break out the facts for you. We operate in Lagos, so we get close to. If you do fairly, if you have a radio market of close to 10 million in Lagos or more than, and you do 2 million, that's decent. Then secondly, we're also online. We're on TikTok, we're Instagram, we're cross board. Then people take things from this show and reshare. So it gets to a larger audience, even in diaspora. This morning, we've had people that come from Germany, from America, and all of that. So we can only do our beats. And the best of what we can do is what we have done. So we've put it on many platforms. Okay, take for instance, I'll give you an instance. On TikTok alone, averagely every day, we get over 5,000 people listening to us on TikTok, watching us live as we're doing this live, minus Facebook and Instagram. So we'll do the very best we can. It's people like you that will amplify and tell the message to other people. I'm trying to see if I can reach 200 million. There's no media house that reaches over 200 million people at a go in this country. Anybody that tells you that is not true. So I like to work with the data and the empiricals, but I appreciate your concern. But people will also share it. And we also thank the list of people that work with us, the people that, that take our message and share to the world. And you will also be the living message and do the best you can for people. So, and that's the kind of grace we get. On TikTok alone, we get close to 5,000 people, sometimes 7,000 people watching us live on this message. Instagram will get thousands more. Facebook will get thousands more. Cumulatively on socials, on a good day, on the show goes out on Sunday, we get close to over 20,000 people on our social media alone. Sometimes we do Twitter. We get over 1,000 on Twitter. So we can only do our parts. We can only do our parts. All right. So let's not think we're not doing enough. This, as we do it today, is a labor of love on its own. Hmm? And you can also carry the message wherever you are with you. Message of change, message of reconciliation, message of abundance, message of hope, message of healing. Because it's when we do that, that society can be better for it. So we're impacting, we're using our platform, we're reaching out, we're saving lives, and that's all that matters. So let's not get weary in well doing. Let's just keep doing good at all times, and let's just keep changing the world and changing humanity. That's just it. So it will happen. Good things will happen to our country. We're never going to keep quiet. We're never going to stop talking. We're never going to stop shouting and advocating. Hmm? That's just it. 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. These are the numbers at which you can call us up. Also, very soon, I'll be giving you a website where you can send all your concerns to, and we amplify them as much as we can. Hello, how are you? Great to have you, Raymond. Where are you calling from in Lagos? Good. Bless you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks. Thank you. 0818099191. And we'll be happy also. Other stations that might choose to carry some of our content here, it will be more than a joy and double delight if you carry our content. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name?
This is KK.
Trucker, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Jersey.
Um, from New Jersey. Great to have you, my brother. Go ahead, talk to us.
Good morning.
Morning.
Again, thank you very much for all these.
Bless you, my brother.
I called about 3 weeks ago.
I remember.
To send the email.
Yes, Did you send it? Because I've not seen it.
I actually started to get it again now, right about 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
I would like to discuss something very important. Syndicates that's making us
It's a fraud syndicate? Is it a fraud syndicate?
yes, it's a one syndicate, yes.
Okay.
I'm reaching out to you because I have looking at the mass size and people involved is something that I really it's more than just overwhelming.
Wow. Okay. I'll check that mail again. I'll check that mail again, and we'll probably report to the authorities. Huh? Thank you. Thank you. I'll check the mail again. Bless you. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. What's your name? What's your name? Where are you calling from? That's what. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Amen. Bless you. Bless you. I appreciate you so much. All right. All right. We're still getting a little calls in. 0818099191. In the 10 o'clock hour, we'll normally take insights, some very inspirational messages. Please do well to get us back at that time. We'll take insights in the 10 o'clock hour. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? Morning, what's your name? Where are you calling? For all the way from Senegal. Great to have you, my brother. How is Dakar? Bless you so much. I really appreciate you. God bless you. God will honor you too. God be praised. Bless you so much. Bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. God bless you, my brother. All the way from Dakar in Senegal. Bless you. Hello, how are you? Hello? All right. I can't wait to come to Dakar. There's a library somebody was trying to build in Dakar that we gave some little gifts to at some point, you know. It will be good to see how that library has gone and blossomed. Hello, how are you? Morning, how's it going? How are you? Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. God bless you. Hello, how are you?
My name is
Obinna, great to have you. Where are you calling from? Good to have you, Obinna. Obinna, What happened in your elections yesterday?
So what what we expected, I've actually been no different from every expectation. That's why the government now.
I know.
I think the problem right now is that a lot of people, especially Nigeria, problem is not a problem of greed. I think it's more of a problem of security complex and mindset.
Yeah.
Now, technically speaking, you have people who want to drive to wake up someone for 1 million naira Uber driver, and all of a sudden start waiting for them for 10 hours and come to give money. And look at my driver and say to him, why should I give this guy more than 100 or 200,000? I should spend 5,000 because most of the indication of why he needs more. That's actually a problem.
Mm.
Every crime feels bigger than the tribe.
Yes, that's the problem. Every tribe feels better than the other tribe.
Better than the other tribe. And now, once like for instance, yesterday comes in, talks to one that went to stole then you just feel that what people need plan for, I mean, they need more than they need. You understand? So it's mindset of greed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not greed. It's actually security complex and
Mm-hmm.
that's why they need to be downtrodden.
Mm-hmm.
If this mindset continues, there would be no country.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I think every citizen has gotten to the point that they're just looking for the emotion. No one wants to fight for crime.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. So it's where because after 2023, everybody has given up. That last election, everybody has given up.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that we're just waiting for racism impact. That's just what every Nigerian is waiting for,
Yeah.
especially the lower class. So if until us having leadership that lets them have that equal, while that was important to them, they've been responsible for putting the needs of others ahead of you. So
Mm-hmm.
the day you start putting people's ahead of yours, you become priority.
Mm-hmm.
That's the meaning when they marry my business. No bias here, but he only just takes care of others,
Mm-hmm.
children and my wife at home. So it takes them for him. That's who he is responsible. So until we see leaders that can put the needs, no matter where the leadership is happening, local government council, once they put the needs of others ahead of yours, people will benefit.
That's just it. That's just it. That's very apt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And that's you're very spot on. You're very spot on. We just need people, leaders that can put the needs of the people ahead of theirs. We don't need leaders that would steal for their own pleasure, but they will think of the needs of the people. I mean, look at the country. We can't even pay for proper health care. How much was given for the healthcare ministry? How much was given for all the sectors? So it's just sad what happens in this country. And may God help us, and may He continue to keep all of us. That's about it on the show today. Bless you guys so much. I pray as you go this week, God blesses you, and keeps His face upon you, and it keeps His face upon your life like the sun. This show is also going out on YouTube, so VOP 90.3 on YouTube. That's also going out on YouTube, so you can continue to watch it on YouTube. The first phase is normally on all these platforms on Twitter, Rufai on Twitter, Instagram, Rufai Oseni, Facebook, Rufai Oseni, all the platforms, and TikTok. All right. So God bless you guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. That's about the show for you today. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for your time, for your persistence, your perseverance, your time with us. Thank you guys so much. We got over 5,000 people on TikTok just watching with us, and Twitter, across all the platforms. Thank you guys so much. Bless you guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you guys so much, and God bless you.
Nah,
This is your number one radio station at VOP 90.3 FM.
90.3 FM, Lagos.
Hello, Rufai. Good morning, sir. How are you and your family, and how's your work? My name is Bimbo Raymond. I'm one of your follower on your Facebook page and also a listener of your program on Arise Television. But for some times now, I was unable to listen to your program. But I follow your Facebook page every day. Sir, please, there's some things I want to tell you, and I would like you to assist me based on that. Yes, I'm a keke driver. I know that I didn't go to school. I attended school. I graduated. But just that there is no work. That is why I learned how to drive keke. Then I took a keke from a company. The name of the company is Gamma Mobility. I think they have office in Lagos and some other states, but I'm in Akure, so I collected that keke from them in Akure. That should be last year, September. Last year. So, and since then, we we deliver 10,000 a day. And since then, I've been paying them. I paid their money to the extent that I've already paid them almost 2 million naira. When I calculated all the money I've paid to them, it's almost 2 million naira in cash. So, but what really happened is this. About 2 weeks ago, it's going to 2 weeks now, because by Thursday, it will be 2 weeks. Despite the fact that I pay my dues to them, I pay their money on a daily basis. But December 2025, on the 25th, that's the Christmas day. Then on the 26th, the Boxing Day. Then on the 1st, that's January 2026, I was unable to pay because I believe that day is a Christmas day. At least everybody's supposed to be in 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 his or her house just to celebrate the Christmas with the family. It's the keke that I used to sustain myself, to take care of my children, as in pay their school fees, then feed them and some pay my house rent and some other things. So I was unable to pay that 25, 26, and on the 1st due to the the period. So then on January 2, I was unable to pay because the work was so dull that even to get the 10,000 in a day is very, very hard here in Akure, because I said it earlier that I stay in Akure. I collected that keke in Akure. So, but to my surprise, on, on Thursday, last Thursday, not this week I've just finished, Thursday, last week Thursday, that's the other Thursday, as I was going towards Oda Road in Akure. So I wanted to pick passengers on the road, but when I was going, then their tax force stopped me on the road that I'm owing them. Immediately I say I know that I'm owing you people, but they say you should go to the office. So I drove the keke with their tax force because they use bike. So we now go to the office. I'm getting to the office. They say I'm owing. I told them, I say I know that I'm owing. That how much am I owing? They don't say I'm owing 100 something thousand. That's 25, 26 on the 1st, and some days in January, even this February, because the work is not so good at all. So I just managing. It's not that maybe I didn't pay them along all through the January. I paid, but not consistent. So they now took that keke that day that I should go and look for money, in which I've tried all my possible best to raise money. And another funniest thing is that any days that the keke is with them, I don't know why they are doing like that. They will count the days during the one that you are owing. So it's becoming so unbearable for me to avoid the cash. If you want me to send you the details of the keke so that I can confirm what I'm telling you, I will send you the particulars, the plate number of the keke, then even the person in charge. I can send you his phone number so that I can call him, then verify whatever thing that I said. So, sir, please. But my problem is this, sir. I need, because it's that keke that I used to take care of my family. I'm not a small boy. I'm 50 years of age. I'm an elderly person. I'm 50. By June this year, I'll be 50 years. So, but based on the situation of things, that is why I collected that keke. Let me be, for person not to be idle. Because before, after when I graduated, I've been trying to do one job or the other, all this kind of a thing. But when I see it's not forthcoming, that is why I go into that keke so that I can use as the marua. Let me so that I can, because you might not understand the keke, but marua, we call it marua, so that the tricycle, uh, that's the tricycle. So, sir, please, and the money is accumulating. And the day before yesterday, somebody called me from the office that if I didn't come to come and collect that keke on time, that they will terminate our agreement because it's a company. So they gave us the form to fill all those kind of things. So that's an agreement that they will terminate the agreement, then they will allocate. That means that all the money I've paid to them has gone. They will give the keke to another person. The name of the company is Gamma Mobility. Gamma Mobility is the name of the company. As I said earlier, they have branches in Lagos and some other states, but I mean Akure. That is why they have office here in Akure too. That is why I collected my own. So please, I don't know how you are going to help me. So that let me pay the keke, then let me collect the keke back because since that last week Thursday, now almost 2 weeks now, this has been very difficult for me. If there's any assistance that you can do for me, this is my WhatsApp number and also my phone number. That's why I said let me send you this voice note this morning. So sir, please, if you want me to send you the particulars of the documents and the person in charge, his phone number, I can send it to you so that I can verify whatever thing that I said. So that is what I'm just after. And according to them, now the money is accumulating every day. It's almost 300,000 now that they are calculating at some point. Because based on what they are, any days that they can stay with them, they calculate, they add the money together. And that has been there for almost 2 weeks now. So sir, please, if there's any way that you can assist me, maybe through you or one way or the other, I beg you, sir. That is why I said, let me just send you this voice note this morning because since almost 2 weeks now, I was unable to feed my family. And the Bible said any man that is unable to feed his family is an infidelity. Yes, but I'm not, but just based on what happened, that is why I'm like this. So, sir, please, whatever thing that you can do to me, you can do to assist me, sir, please kindly do that because if they terminated that contract now, if they terminate the contract, that means all the money I paid to them, that one has gone. And I don't want to start from square one again. So please, sir.
Let me start by congratulating you all, assuming as I do that you participated in elections, some of you, and that you are elected, and also aware that some of you have been appointed to serve as ministers in the new administration. Congratulations. And also permit me to thank the Office of the Prime Minister for inviting me to share my thoughts with you on a subject that I think is very important, not only to the federal government of Ethiopia, but to the people of Ethiopia and by extension, the continent of Africa. My presentation has been summarized in writing and will be available for your reference later. Let me start by saying that the subject of Pan-Africanism is one that remains as important today as it was, in my view, many years ago. Those of you who are familiar with the struggle for Pan-Africanism will remember its story, particularly through the activities of Africans in the diaspora. You'll particularly remember that prior to the much more famous meeting held in 1945 in Manchester in the United Kingdom, Africans in the diaspora, particularly in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Jamaica, were very particular about having connection with the continent of Africa. You'll remember that they had many meetings, and you'll be familiar with some of the names, such as Sylvester Williams from Trinidad and Tobago, such as Marcus Garvey, and his call for Africans to go back to the mother continent. And you will also remember African Americans such as W.B.E. Du Bois, who was very active in the process of liberating the African Americans from the clutches of slavery and discrimination, and who also played a very critical part in the struggle for decolonization, culminating in the 1945 meeting, which for the first time was attended by Africans who later played a critical role in the struggle for decolonization. Of course, Ethiopia does stand out to the extent that it was never successfully colonized. There was limited occupation, and you are familiar with that history. Therefore, it is not mine to educate you on your own history, but you are familiar with it. But it must concern us, particularly at this time. And I hope during this conversation I'll be able to demonstrate why, in order for us to understand the present, we must understand the past, which will also enable us to have a glimpse on what the future holds. And one of the speeches which is seldom referred to is a speech that was delivered in the year 1906 in the month of April by a South African called Pixley Kaisaka Seme. And it is instructive that Pixley Kaisaka Seme was the first president of the African National Congress when it was founded in 1912. When Pixley Kaisaka Seme delivered that speech as a student at the University of Columbia, his title was The Regeneration of Africa. And what he was talking about at that time was an Africa that had borne the brunt of slavery and was laboring under the pain of colonization. Pixley Kaisaka Seme reminded his audience on that day that when the European powers assembled in Berlin in 1884 through to 1885, they agreed to divide Africa into spheres of influence for purposes of exploitation, so that the Germans had their share. If you remember, the Germans were present in what we now call Namibia. They were present in what we now call Benin, but was then known as Dahomey. They were present in what is now a part of Ghana, which was then the Togoland, the Volta area. The Belgians were present in Rwanda and Urundi, and they were also present in what is now the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Italians, to the extent that they could, tried to occupy Ethiopia and Eritrea, and were present in a portion of Somalia. The British were present, of course, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Nyasaland, in Rhodesia, and in Nigeria, and in many other places. The French, of course, were also present. And all these powers, even the Spaniards, were present in Equatorial Guinea, as were the Portuguese. And the whole idea was to use the resources, both natural and human, of the African continent, so that the partition of Africa was one that was designed to benefit the European powers. The partition was arbitrary. If you look at the nation states that we now have, or is it states that we now have, with many nations in them, every other African country that we are talking about now is struggling to be a state. All of them, without exception, all of them. And this is what Pixley Kaisaka Seme was saying. How will we regenerate this continent? And it's instructive that he was talking at a time when the entire continent of Africa was under colonization, excluding Liberia and Ethiopia, all of them. And therefore, when in 1945, Africans were represented in Manchester, Kwame Nkrumah was present at that meeting, Marcus Garvey was present at that meeting, Jomo Kenyatta was present at that meeting, Obafemi Awolowo was present at that meeting. The drive was to decolonize Africa. And one of the things that amazes me is that at that time, these individuals did not have the internet, they did not have WhatsApp, they did not have the kind of communication that we have now. But it is amazing at how they were communicating. Even air transport was not as it is now. I was just recently reading the activities of one of the greatest Africans who, in my view, ever lived, and whom many people do not know about. The great Ghanaian James Emmons Kwegyir Agri, normally referred to as Agri of Africa, and how he traveled from the United States and went to many countries in Africa, traveling by sea and talking about why Africa should be united. And that was Pan-Africanism, the Pan-African spirit at that time. Of course, we then went into the era of decolonization, and the spirit again was one which was consistent. You had people from the Caribbean participating in the struggle in that regard. You have people like W.B. Du Bois saying that Africa must be free. A little later, people like Martin Luther King Jr., and people like Malcolm X, talking of George Padmore, talking about how Africa should be liberated and we should work with people in the diaspora. And then the agitation was there that we must regain our independence. And famously in 1949, Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah is saying, "Seek ye first the political kingdom, and the rest will be given unto you." And I dare say that the rest has never been given to us. And even if it is coming too slowly. But it is instructive that at that time, the spirit was about the continent of Africa. We were conscious, the leaders were conscious, that Africa decolonized without unity would remain weak. And of course, Africa is weak. The weakest continent on earth is this continent in which we are, our continent. So the struggle for independence was everywhere across the world, across the continent of Africa. So when on the 6th day of March, Ghana regained her independence as Ghana, it was then Gold Coast. I think the most eloquent and the most passionate warrior for Pan-Africanism was Nkrumah. He said on that day, and again later, that the independence of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not free. And he meant it, because when Ghana regained independence in 1957, 1 year later, Guinea regained her independence. A year later, the French Sudan, or what we now call Mali, regained her independence. They signed a pact to create what they call the African Union. They thought at that time that that would be Africa in her embryonic days. And they invited Patrice Emery Lumumba in 1961, but of course Emery Lumumba was then assassinated in the month of January 1961. And he warned. This is one of the things that always stands out in my mind. That Nkrumah, of all leaders at that time, was able to see that if we were not united, we would go nowhere. So in 1958, he summons a meeting in Accra, Ghana, of the then independent African countries and tells them, if we don't unite now, the neo-colonialist is going to ensure that we remain disunited and we remain small, and they are going to ensure that the neo-colonial project continues. In 1961, on the first day of January, again in Casablanca, Morocco, he tells his audience, let us unite now before each one of our leaders begins to get used to power, because power is easy to get used to. You who have been elected will know. Once you become a minister and you become used to people saluting you and opening your doors, if it happens for 1 month, you will find it very difficult if you lose your ministerial position when there is nobody to salute you and to open your doors. That is how attractive power can be. And he warned the people then. But the colonial project was alive and well, because as they were meeting in Casablanca, Morocco, there was another group that was meeting in Monrovia in Liberia. That is how Africa started splitting, creating two groups, the Casablanca group and the Monrovia group. The Casablanca group, which comprised, I think famously, Kwame Nkrumah was there from Ghana, Gamal Abdel Nasser was there from Egypt, Ahmed Ben Bella was there from Algeria, Modibo Keita was there from Mali. They took the view, unite now. The Monrovia group, comprised of William Tubman at that time. Emperor Haile Selassie was also in the Monrovia group. Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere was in the Monrovia group. They took the view, we want to unite, but gradually. Let it be gradual. So that when Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia convenes a meeting in Addis Ababa on the 23rd through to the 25th day of May 1963, there are two groups already. The Pan-African agenda is already being watered down. There is the Casablanca group and there is the Monrovia group. And the creation of the OAU was a victory for the Monrovia group. And I want you to, there were 32 heads of states and government who met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on the 23rd through to the 25th day of May, the year 1963. And I want you to listen to all of those speeches, or the compilation of them. There is a compilation of them that was made in the year 2013 when we were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity. And listen to all the speeches, and I pick out a speech from the leader of Central African Republic, David Dacko. David says, Central African Republic is so small that if we are not a part of an African Union, the French will come again. And they have come again. Mwalimu Nyerere of Tanzania says, we are not here in order to remind ourselves of how important unity is. We are here to talk about the unity of Africa. The host, Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, says, it is important for us to realize that we must make sacrifice for the future, because a disunited Africa will never realize our potential. But the most passionate speech again was that of Kwame Nkrumah. He tells them, let us not live here without one government, without one army, without one currency, and without having chosen a capital. And I propose that the capital of the new Africa either be located in Bangui in Central African Republic, or Leopoldville, now Kinshasa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. But I'm open to any other suggestion. And let us live here once we have put together a council of foreign ministers in order to begin to work towards an African Union. That is Kwame Nkrumah. Nobody listened to him. We ended up with the OAU. And the story of the OAU can be told and retold. Some say that it was a toothless bulldog. Others say that it was not even a dog. But whatever it was, it cannot be denied that it made a contribution to the process of decolonization of the continent in many ways, complete with the establishment of the liberation unit of it, which was headquartered in Dar es Salaam in the United Republic of Tanzania, which was spearheaded the decolonization of quite a number of countries at that time. But the point that I'm making is that the Pan-African spirit at that time was about a united Africa. Because you will remember at that time that France never wanted to leave and has never left. It is always instructive that when the French left, they formed an organization called Organization for French-Speaking Countries. The British also created their own Commonwealth of Independent Nations. But what is instructive is that the Queen is always the head of those independent nations. I've never understood that. Perhaps the presidents do. The Portuguese, of course, you know, never left easily. Until 1980, when I was an adult, they were still fighting in Mozambique, in Cape Verde, in Guinea-Bissau, in Angola, and in Mozambique. The apartheid regime, of course, only left in 1994, and I wonder whether they have left. That is Africa for you. So that the fears of Kwame Nkrumah that if you are not united, we would have problems, started haunting us. He said that if we are not united in the Pan-African spirit, what is going to happen is that the imperialists is going to control us. They are going to emphasize our ethnic differences. And they are going to ensure that we begin fighting amongst one another. And as we do so, they are going to exploit us. And they started. In January 1961, they assassinated Patrice Emery Lumumba, and Congo has never been the same again. In 1963, they assassinated Sylvanus Olympio in Togo, and Togo has never been the same again. Then there were coup d'etats. Kwame Nkrumah himself, in 1966, eliminated via coup d'etat, all his writings, all his speeches banned, never to be read, never to be listened to until 1972, when Ignatius Kutu Acheampong rehabilitated him. Ahmed Ben Bella in Algeria, gone. In Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, gone. In Mali, Modibo Keita, gone. In Chad, everywhere, coup d'etats. Here in Ethiopia, 1974, if I'm not wrong, coup d'etat and the emergence of the Deg regime. In East Africa, Uganda, coup d'etat, mutinies in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania in 1971. All orchestrated because we were disunited and we were weak. The predictions of our forefathers and founding mothers that disunited we would remain weak came true. That is the history of it. So that today, when we talk about the African continent and we talk about Pan-Africanism, we must understand it in the context of that history. And you will remember that it is not as if Africa never realized or never recognized that our weakness would be in our disunity. We did. We did. Because regionally we were trying to integrate. We were in the East African community, we were creating the East African community. In South Africa, we were creating SADC. In West Africa, we were creating ECOWAS. In Central Africa, we were creating the Organization of Central African Communities. In the North, we were creating the Maghreb. Even in this region, we were converting IGAD into something in the nature of an economic community. We were creating COMESA. We were aware that Africa could only operate and operate meaningfully if we were integrated. We are not trading with one another. Intra-African trade is not anything beyond 15%, the lowest anywhere in the world. If you look at all our sectors and look at them, look at our agriculture, almost all African countries are net food importers. There is not a single African country that is in meaningful technology. Not a single African country produces a mobile phone. Yet the single most important ingredient in mobile telephony is to be found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Not a single African country produces a car other than assembling completely knocked down kits. There is no meaningful production of pharmaceutical products in Africa. And if there was any doubt, COVID exposed it. All African countries, the 55 of them, are waiting to either receive Sinovac from China, Sputnik from Russia, AstraZeneca, Johnson or Moderna. And we don't even know what they are because our bureaus of standardization don't know. If you ask the Ethiopian Bureau of Standards what they are asking us to be injected with, they do not know. They just believe it is a vaccine because the Americans have said so or because the Chinese have said so. Africa is weak. So that even this magnificent edifice, I suspect, has not been erected by Ethiopian engineers. When I see the signage in Chinese, I suspect it is the Chinese. That is how weak we are. That is the reality of our mother continent. It is because we are politically weak, we are economically weak, socially we are disorganized, culturally and spiritually we are confused. That is the continent in which we are today. And the question, therefore, what would we do continentally in terms of trade? In 1980, under the Lagos Plan of Action, and some of you have been ambassadors, some of you are now serving cabinet ministers, you will grapple with this on a daily basis. Under the Lagos Plan of Action, Africa sat down in Lagos and said, we are going to improve trade amongst ourselves. 1980, Lagos Plan of Action. Did we do it? No, we did not do it. We did not do it because the European Union was instead engaging us under the African Caribbean, the Lomé Convention of 1975, or the Cotonou Convention of 2000. Africa remains the only continent which is described as Anglophone. So in Kenya or Uganda, where possibly only 20% speak the English language, we are Anglophone. In French, former French colonies, they are Francophone. In former Portuguese colonies, they are Lusophone. In some Arab countries, they are Arabophone. That is who we are. So, when the OAU met in 2013, they asked the question, what happened to the Pan-African spirit? And when, therefore, they met in Sirte, in Libya, under the tutelage at that time of Muammar al-Gaddafi, it was resolved in 1999 that the OAU be renamed and be referred to as the African Union, and it was launched, as you know, in Durban, South Africa in the year 2000. But one of the most important things in the 2013 was the speech of the then chairman of the OAU Council, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, here in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. And I want you to read that letter, which I'll paraphrase, in which she writes an imaginary letter to Kwame Nkrumah. He tells and apologizes to Kwame, telling Kwame, we apologize to you because we did not listen to you. We are weak because we did not listen to you. We are divided into 54, 55, depending on whether the Moroccans agree that Sahrawi is a country. Nobody cares about us. And brothers and sisters, if you want to know how weak we are, and we are weak, look at how we are treated. Last month, the world met in New York. The General Assembly. When African heads of states and government are speaking, the hall is empty. Nobody bothers because they are saying nothing. And even if they are saying something, it is something that can be ignored. Compare when an African head of state and government is speaking and when the Prime Minister of Little Israel is speaking. They will listen because we are weak and disunited. So we have a weak continent because the spirit of Pan-Africanism disappeared. So the question that we can ask, what is the state of Pan-Africanism as we speak today? The African Union, which is weak, says the right things and does the wrong things 9 out of 10 times. And what are the critical areas in which we are weak? We are weak politically because nobody listens to us. On the 3rd day of March, 1900, on the 6th day of March, 1997, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage of Tanzania, speaking in Accra, Ghana, on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of the independence of Ghana, said, the speech is entitled, "We Unite or We Perish." And Mwalimu says, I want to apologize to Kwame Nkrumah. Those of us who believed in gradualism were wrong. Nkrumah was right. But Nkrumah also did not appreciate the level of suspicion that existed amongst the leaders at that time. Our generation, he says, fought for the liberation of Africa It is the duty of the new generation to carry the torch forward, he says in his plea. He says that I do not believe that the tribe can be the basis of mobilization in Africa. And he said that as I travel along across the world, people do not care about our Tanzanianness or our Ghanaianness or our Kenyanness or our Ethiopianness. In their eyes, we are all Africans. And perhaps that is what we should use as the building block in order to talk about African unity. But we are not being naive about that unity. Because sometimes when we talk about Pan-Africanism and about African unity, people think we are being too simplistic about it. No, it is not being simplistic and being naive. It is recognizing that as long as we remain the way we are, then Africa in the next 25 years will be recolonized. You know, what is the state of Africa as I speak now? What is the state of your continent as we speak now? Because of our disunity. Because when we are disunited, then it is good for Europe and America. Look at the state of your continent as I speak. Conflicts of one kind or another. I'll name the countries just for you to know how bad it is, because that is how it is. Go to northern Mozambique. The gas that is there cannot be produced because there is conflict. Northern Mozambique. Go to Somalia. Conflict. Here in your motherland, conflict. Go to South Sudan, conflict. Go to Sudan, conflict. Go to Libya, conflict. Go to Central African Republic, conflict. Go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, conflict. Go to Burkina Faso, conflict. Go to Mali, conflict. Go to Chad, conflict. Go to Niger, conflict. Go to Cameroon, conflict. Go to Nigeria, conflict. Do I go on? That is the state of the continent. So that even when we talk about intercontinental trade, you tell me, can you drive from Addis Ababa to Dakar in Senegal? Unless you are Daredevil himself. Which group will not kidnap or ambush you? That is the state of the continent because we are weak and disunited. I fly from Nairobi, Kenya for 1.5 hours. I come from the shilling zone. I go into the birr. 33 currencies in Africa. 33 currencies. None of which is used to conclude transactions anywhere. I come to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and I show my shilling. They say, what is this? But let me show the dollar. Oh, this is it. Let me show the euro. This is it. 80% of transactions in Africa are concluded outside of the continent in dollars. So you may have the Central Bank or the Federal Bank of Ethiopia, or Mickey Mouse. You may have the Central Bank of Kenya, Mickey Mouse. You may have all these 54 central banks useless because we are not playing in the real league, we are playing in the small league. That is the state of the continent. So as you have the honor and privilege of serving in the government of Ethiopia, and as you think about integration, that is the continent in which you are now, weak. That is the state in which we are. I watched a woman from Nigeria who had been rescued from the Mediterranean around Lampedusa saying, I will not go back to Africa. Even if I die in the Mediterranean, I'll try again and again. What is it that can make a human being say that I do not want to go back to my home? Because the natural instinct of a human being should be that you want to go home. It's because we are weak. Let me conclude by looking at Africa in the future. What is the state of Pan-Africanism? Africa finds herself in a very difficult situation. What Nkrumah feared. Today, many African leaders have gotten used to the trappings of power. And those who speak about power, right? Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I remember in 1997, I think, I may be wrong about the year, 1995, I think, I was serving as an intern at the Mwalimu Julius Nyerere Foundation in Dar es Salaam. And I had the privilege and honor of driving with Mwalimu Nyerere in Dar es Salaam. And he had only one guard and a driver. And he stopped at the few traffic lights and only moved when the traffic lights moved. And I asked him, Mwalimu, how did you leave power? He said, oh, when I said I wanted to leave office, there was no shortage of people telling me, don't leave us as orphans. It is very rare to find those in positions of leadership in Africa today who would willingly leave office. Power in Africa is now sought by hook and crook and retained by hook and crook. Because the trappings of power are good. And permit me, when I am gone, even if I irritate you, in fact, perhaps my intention is to irritate you, so that you reflect upon what I'm going to say. And this is a personal thing. I'll give you an example. When I was appointed as the director of the Anti-Corruption Commission, I drove in the morning in my car with my driver. In the evening when I was leaving, there were 3 cars. Mine, what was allocated to me, and another one in front, and another one behind me, and 12 individuals. And I asked, who are these fellows? He said, these are your security. I said, I don't need my security. I don't need 2 cars, I only need 1 car. Because this security and 1 car. And I say this because it is in the nature of power to make you use the things that you don't need. And once you get used to them, then without them, you feel empty and lonely. And you will find them. You'll be told, and many of you will love them. They are good. When doors are open for you, they are good. When you occupy front seats, it is good. When you are addressed Your Excellency, it is good. When you eat the best food, it is good. When you have security, it is good, but it can also dehumanize you. It can also monsterize you. I am asking you today that part of the problem of Africa is that we found human beings and we monsterize them. Writing in 1983, Nigeria's Chinua Achebe writes in a book which I commend to you, The Trouble with Nigeria, which could as well be the trouble with Africa. He says, the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a problem of leadership. As we look at Africa today, I hope that this administration, which has now committed itself to the Pan-African movement, will think in that direction. And this brings me to what I think should be contemporary Pan-Africanism. If you look at the Treaty of the East African Community, the Treaty of the East African Community says that there shall first be a common market, then a common currency, and political federation, which ought to have happened in the year 2010. East Africa Community should have had its first president in 2010. That is now 21 years, 10 years later, there is no such thing. In ECOWAS, it ought to have been the same. In SADC, it ought to have been the same. I hope that with your population of 120 million, because Ethiopia is an economic powerhouse potentially. You know, Pan-Africanism, the new Pan-Africanism must have an economic component of it. That is how I understand Africa Agenda 2063. Africa Agenda 2063 says that by the year 2063, Africa will have pulled up her people into a middle-level economy on 7 pillars, economically, politically, and otherwise. And the Africa Continental Free Trade Area suggests to me that we'll have broken all the tariff and non-tariff barriers. Will we be able to achieve those in the spirit of new Pan-Africanism? Will we have one currency? Will we have one passport? We have already said so under the Kigali Agreement that we are going to have one passport. Will we have one telephone code? We have 55 telephone codes. You move from Nairobi 254, you come here, you have another one, you go to Eritrea, you have another one. There is no connectivity in the 21st century. How can you be taken seriously? Those of you in the United States of America, you fly from Boston, Massachusetts to San Francisco in the West, 6 hours, 40 minutes, the code is 1. The tariff is 1. The COVID test is 1. I moved from Nairobi to Addis Ababa, COVID test. If I don't travel this evening, I'll be subjected to another COVID test. I go to Tanzania, COVID test. Uganda, COVID test. Your nose will begin debating with you. In the United States of America, you take one COVID test from Miami and you don't take it as you go to St. Louis in Missouri. I'm talking about very practical things. I come here and I have to go through an immigration. My passport has to be stamped. Somebody in the United States of America does not have to do that. Somebody in the European Union across 27 countries does not have to do that. In China, which is, of course, 1.4 billion, does not have to do that. Until we change all those things, we are going nowhere. So that we have only one telephone code, so that we have only one currency, so that we have only a single immigration, so that we eliminate all these armies. You know, you look at some African countries and they have an army, which complete with 5-star generals who have never even quelled a street riot, and they are generals. Your money goes into maintaining militaries, maintaining embassies that you don't need. You see why Africa is poor? All these 55 countries have embassies. If we were one, there would only be one ambassador for Africa in the United States of America. There would only be one army with regional policing. Am I being naive or simplistic? Yes, we can create a single Africa with a loose government, a confederal government, dealing only with foreign affairs and defense and monetary policy and general policy formulation, with different governance systems. That is the only way in which these narrow tribal instincts will be dampened. But as long as, and now I want to conclude, if we only see Pan-Africanism as sentimentalism, as a romantic idea about which we debate, and we remain as we are, then this is the Africa that I see. This is the Africa that I see in 25 years' time. Many Africans, either legally or otherwise, will break into different autonomous countries. Many of them. We'll have more than 100 countries in Africa, each claiming self-determination, and is already beginning to happen. Because we will be looking at narrow ethnic agenda as the only way of defining our affairs. Ethiopia will break down, Kenya will break down, Nigeria will break down, South Africa will break down. And look at South Africa. Only last week, the whites in Western Cape in South Africa have delivered a petition to the government in Pretoria saying they want to create their own country. The Democratic Republic of Congo will break down, Libya will break down. The only way in which we can immunize ourselves against all those things is to create a Pan-African nation which allows for self-determination within the nation. And we must redefine terms such as self-determination. Self-determination must mean the ability of a people within a bigger unit to enjoy their culture, to enjoy their tradition, to speak their language. They do it on a smaller scale in Switzerland, those of you who are familiar with Switzerland. And we de-emphasize the presidency, we de-emphasize the prime minister's office. Pixley Kaisa Kaseme said, and I conclude with him, Africa is diverse. Some people say that because of our diversity, she cannot unite. She can. Because unity in diversity is possible if we understand what human beings need. In the nature of things, human beings need security. In the nature of things, human beings need food. Human beings need medical services. They need infrastructure. If you have a government that allows that, he said, then it reminds me of the piano. If you press the black button of the piano, it produces some sound. If you press the white one, it produces some sound. But if you press both the black and the white, it produces melodious music. And I think that the new Pan-Africanism must look to that. And you who have the honor and privilege of thinking and working in government, it is your duty to start that journey. It is not going to be easy, but it is an intergenerational journey. Play your part, for it can be done, and it must be done.